From high atop the Atlanta Motor Speedway, welcome to the opening round of Season 14 of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to start the stream on time. Joey Trapasso up in the booth with you for this one, calling out my own mistakes. A few new names making the call tonight here at Hotlanta, as Matt Batby, defending series champion, is in the house. As we are going to take a look, see who's going to be the first one to try to lay a time here. Familiar face to the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. That is Jamie LaRoque, driving the HendrickCars.com number 15. As qualifying underway, LaRoque going to be the first one to take the green. As he and Jeremy Moore both out on track right now. Newcomer Tommy Osborne, Jeremy Morrison back with the series. Nate Brown is here tonight, though suffering from a stomach bug. Don't look for him to run the entirety of the race, as your health is more important than anything else. Don't overdo it, Nate. Defending series champion Matt Batby here. But LaRoque going to be one of the ones to lay an initial time, coming off a 4 with a good head of steam. LaRoque goes to the top of the pile. Jeremy Moore slots into second. Let's take a look at Kevin Becker. There he is. And I believe that's, yes, Emos. Number 25 here tonight. Currently sits second quick. As Nate Brown crosses the line, he slots into fourth. Jeremy Morrison negating his first lap. There's Austin Carey back with the field. No longer running the traditional Falcon tire scheme, now running the TRD scheme. Good on you, sir, for changing that up a little bit. As Jeremy Moore does go quick time, Austin Carey slots into second quick. And Nate Brown immediately bumps him off. There he is in the new big red paint scheme. Digging the new schemes that I'm seeing here tonight. There is newcomer James Rayburn Jr. in the 31 here tonight. Brian Toole back with us. Dan Sykes back with us. Checking in with another series newcomer. He's only made a couple of starts last season. That is Blaine Woodruff in the 71. So we're going to check back in with Tommy Osborne. Here he is. Chris Smith back with the series. Wayne Hosler here as always. He and Fred Garcia on mirror laps right now, as we do have solo qualifying. Osborne jumps up to 11th quick. There's Ryan Twinham making his debut with the league. Hosler getting ready to cross for his first flyer. New paint scheme on that truck this season. I kind of missed the big put scheme he closed the season with last year. But hey, to each their own. Fred Garcia going 9th quick. The chief cook and bottle washer here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Rocking the Gatorade scheme tonight. That has brought good luck every other time we have seen it on this station in other series. As there's Twinham, again making his debut. First flyer. As Hosler goes up to 13th quick, Garcia jumps up to 7th. Wow. Chris Smith currently sits in 9th. Lane Hosler up to 2nd. Waiting on John Anthony and John Kozlowski to lay times here, as we're running out of time. Matter of fact, if you're not out on track right now, you're not going to get both laps in. I don't think you're going to get one lap in for that matter. So the 00 and the 01 electing to not take time here in qualifying. Twinham should get this lap in, coming off of turn number 4 now. Good head of steam, should improve his time from the opening salvo. And up to 4th quick. Not too shabby for the rookie. as qualifying does now come to a close, as we are going to take a quick look. Bear with me, folks, as I need to move a couple of things. As we're going to take a quick look at tonight's starting grid. Starting up on the pole, right where he finished last season, your defending series champion, Matt Badby, setting quick time here tonight. Almost a full 10th to the good over his arch rival last season, Lane Hosler. Nate Brown and Ryan Twittem going to start it off from row number 2. There's the double deuce of Austin Carey. He's going to start inside. Row number 3 is going to be joined with the 9 of Jeremy Moore. Dan Sykes and Fred Garcia going to roll it from row number 4, with row 5 going to series debutant James Rayburn Jr. He's going to be joined with Chris Smith in that mobile 1, number 14. There is Blaine Woodruff making his return. He's going to be joined in row 6 with Brian Toole. Row 7 is going to see Jamie LaRoque and Jeremy Morrison, Tommy Osborne and Kevin Becker in row number 8. And row 9, starting all by his lonesome, it's going to be John Kozlowski as John Anthony has left the building. So 17 trucks scheduled to roll it here tonight. As we're going to get that off our screen. Again, 120 laps of scheduled distance, 4 sets of tires, no fast repairs. You know how it goes here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Batby, very strong last season on the 1.5 miles. The man who swept the last 3 1/2 races, though, last season, not here tonight. So, something to be mindful of. James Lowe, not here. As the field worked its way through the 3-4 complex, the iRacing pace car is getting ready to make that hard left turn. And I'm glad to be able to say this to you folks again on a Monday night. It's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some barbecue and a Coca-Cola because it's time to get it on in hot Atlanta. Race fans, it's showtime! Batby going to lead us into turn number 1. Hosler going to file into second. They're getting single filed out pretty quick there. Badby going to lead lap 1 as it now goes in the books. Hosler sitting second quick so far, making a move to the inside. Something we don't normally see out of Hosler is pushing the envelope early. But looks like he no longer wants to play follow the leader back there. Badby defending quite well, though. And that second lane is going to pay higher and higher dividends the more rubber that gets worked in up there. As now Hosler goes to the top shelf. Badby defends on the low side, takes the short way through the dog leg. Hosler goes side by side with him as they haul it off into turn number 1. Badby going to send it. Hosler really sends it on the high side. Gets a truck length and a half to the good just in the corner entry. Now Hosler in the slipstream. Back here, Ryan Twinham and Nick Brown going side by side. Brown going to drop back. He's got Austin Carey who's outside now. Brown not being a happy camper on that low lane. Here comes Jeremy Moore as well in that Brownie Racing number 9. Hosler going to lead lap number 3. As we are now working lap number 4. There is Blaine Woodruff working the outside of James Rayburn Jr. Chris Smith just set the fast lap of the race. First one to go, sub 31 with a 31.65. Hosler and Batby seem to have calmed down a little bit. Everybody's going into tire concentration mode. As Hosler, Batby, Quinham, and Carey running stem to stern, and they are about a half-second back to that man, Nate Brown, in the big red number 5. Again, kind of under the weather tonight. Looking to get things pointed in the right direction. Just wants to get some show-up points here in the first race. 2 drops scheduled for this season. So that'll help things immensely, as that is Sykes and Brown going door to door. Sykes on the low side. As in front of him, Twinham and Batty were starting to look at each other. Twinham applying some pressure to the defending series champion. But we don't call Matt Batty the Iceman for nothing. Everybody minding their P's and Q's here in the early going, working lap 6 of 120. As here comes Moore to the inside of Carey now. Carey using that outside lane to carry the momentum. No pun intended, I promise. Everybody just biding their time. Just getting a feel for it. It's the first race back. Everybody's trying to get, as we call it in hockey, rink rust, where you haven't been on the ice for a while. Well, a lot of these guys haven't been on track for a couple of weeks, so good on you, gentlemen. As Nate Brown continues his backslide, that's not a good idea, especially this early going. Your 2 biggest movers in the positive direction, though, are right in front of him. There is Blaine Woodruff in the 71, currently sitting in 7th. Your other big mover is back there in the 25. That's Kevin Becker. Jeremy Morrison slots him back 1 more spot. Here comes Moore to the inside on Sykes. They go door to door. Sykes going to use the outside lane. He's already seen that pay dividend from the guys in front of him. A lot of respect being shown out here in the early going. Nobody crowding anybody. Nobody trying to do that crazy side drafting stuff like we see other places. A couple things to be noteful of here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. There are extreme penalties if you get popped with causing a caution. It's going to be a 10-week season instead of the normal 22. I'm sorry, I just saw that. I'm talking about something completely different. I do apologize for that. Do want to make note of a good friend of the series, Greg Barnett. Is recovering from shoulder damage, and he's going to be taking this season off because of that. Greg, if you're listening, get well soon, brother. We miss you. Greg, of course, our Season 12 champion. Would like to point out that if you want to get involved here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, it's not too late. Just go over to CleanRacing.net, and you can sign up through there. And, of course, we do need to thank our good friends at the RingsideReport.net for helping supply some of the funding to bring these broadcasts up to the masses. As that is Woodruff and Carey going after each other as Carey finally gets it sorted out. Here comes Moore as it looks like Woodruff may have caught the wall coming off the 2. Oh yeah, you can see a little bit of pancake action on the right side of that board. Wasn't a hard hit, but it definitely is enough to wake you up, let's put it that way. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, be sure to give these videos a thumbs up. It really does help the station share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely it is to be shared on someone's homepage when they log into their YouTube account. Also, if you haven't noticed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on a single moment of action here on SimRacing Media. As we have content 7 nights a week. Yes, it is the holiday season. Some leagues are winding down, some leagues are still ramping up. As Batby and Twinham still going after each other for second. But some of these leagues are starting to wind down. This league, tonight's the season opener. And some leagues are also in their playoffs already. But be sure to hit that bell and subscribe and turn the bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action. As tomorrow night, we've got a triple header in store for you here on the network. It'll be the doubleheader tomorrow night, tripleheader tonight, as our sister broadcast going on right now, the SCL International Cup Series. If you want to open a new tab, check them out as well. And then here in just a handful of minutes, the Elite Entertainment ARCA Series is going to round 9 at Richmond. So tripleheader tonight, doubleheader tomorrow night, starting with the noon broadcast for the Midday Racing League Xfinity Series as they go to round number 6 at Pocono. And the nightcap, as we always do, it'll be the season finale for season 47 of the Western States Racing League from Phoenix. So, a ton of racing left coming up this week as Lane Hosler has already carved himself out a 1.5 seconds to the good. Makes that a 1.25 seconds. Hamilton, Ohio is where he calls home. Rocking the Hosler fence and concrete livery on that truck here tonight. A little bit of a different look on that Ford, but still, you can tell it's Lane by how good he is doing here on the 1.5 miles. 1.5 mile ringer, if you will. Is everybody getting sorted out? A little bit of shuffling going on back here. As that is Jeremy Morrison working the inside of Blaine Woodruff. Woodruff on the top shelf, just keeping his foot in it, able to carry so much more momentum. The only thing he's got to be careful of is that's the quickest way to wear out a set of shoes here on the 1.5 miles, is running that outer lane. Checking back here is Dan Sykes and Kevin Becker going door to door. Sykes is starting to backslide. He may have gone too hard too soon when the green flag came out. Sykes down 5, Nate Brown down 7, because he's right there in that mix as well. Current biggest mover is the driver of the number 75. There he is. Of course, we are talking about Jeremy Morrison out of Gulf, Ontario. Interesting pick, Jeremy. I'm digging it. Woodruff still working that high lane in that F-150. The Toyota of Morrison works the low side. And for the first time in a long time, it is not a Toyota heavy field here. The vast majority of the trucks are bow ties. 3 Fords and 5 Toyotas. Everybody else in a Chevy. Woodruff and Brown now go door to door. Brown starting to claw his way back up towards the front. Gets the move done on Woodruff. Now set the sights on trying to reel in James Rayburn, who's already out to a 2nd to the good. There is Rayburn. As you've got Hosler a 2nd to the good over defending series champion Batby. Batby is 2.5 seconds to the good over series debutant Ryan Twinham. There's Austin Carey in 4th, Jeremy Moore in 5th, and then you're a 2nd back to Chris Smith in the 14. There you see that Mobile 1 Toyota back there. lurking in the background. Smith, usually one of those ones that not afraid to push the tires as far as trying to get them to last as long as possible. Becker and Woodruff going side by side now, coming through the dog leg. It's Becker on the low side, Woodruff on the top shelf. Woodruff going to try to send it going into one. Becker has him covered on the low side, really making it happen now as Carey under heavy pressure from Jeremy Moore going into three, Moore on the low side. And then, of course, it's the double deuce of Carey on the top shelf trying to defend. And that's something we've seen, especially with the last couple of tire models here in iRacing, is that top line can defend quite well because you're not turning the wheel, you're not bogging the truck down as much, trying to get it down on that bottom line. Nate Brown starting to claw his way back up through the field, already gained 3 spots, back into 7, as he just got around James Rayburn Jr. That is Sykes on the bottom, Woodruff in the middle, as the 99 of Tool getting the blinkies a little bit there. This, of course, is your battle for 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Sykes able to wrestle 10th back away from Woodruff. Here comes Tool. Eagle 1 on that Toyota here tonight. Reminiscent of an old Mark Martin paint scheme, so Lane Holzler's not running a Martin scheme, at least Brian Tool is. Woodruff still working that top shelf, has not deviated from the second lane all night yet. Chris Smith now under pressure from Nate Brown, as Brown has reeled him in. Smith may have bobbled there, as he may have been looking at Brown coming and missed the corner entry. Little bit of slippage coming into turn number 1. That's going to open the door for Brown to get to the low side. It's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway as Brown throws the slide job and wrestles the spot away. Here comes Rayburn on Smith now. That truck is not happy on that second lane. I don't know what's going on with Smith, but apparently that truck is not a happy camper. Checking back in with the 25 of Becker, as he now sits as your biggest mover, sitting +7th back in 9th. As Batby has now caught Hosler. It's a different Lane Hosler than we're used to seeing, as he was aggressive early. We normally don't see that much aggression early out of Hosler, and he may have gone too hard too soon. But if he can stick with Batby, he should be okay, as we are fast approaching the quarter mark, as 29, working lap 29 of 30. With 30 in the books, we will be at the quarter of the way through this piece. Hosler defending quite well right now, as we're going to check back with this battle for 10th, as that's Tool and Sykes going door to door. Tool going to wrestle the spot away from the 66. Coming out of turn number 4 through the dog leg. Now Sykes gets to play Predator, as Batby and Hosler side by side through 1 and 2. Drag race down the back straightaway. Hosler able to use the hill to get a little bit of momentum. Batby going to run him up the hill coming into 3. Didn't let him turn in early. But Hosler able to keep it wound up on that top shelf. This is classic Atlanta, multi-groove racing. I'm glad they chose to go with the older Atlanta layout instead of the new one, that it's going to be single file for about the next 10 years, folks. Get used to it. Whereas here on the older surface, a lot of side-by-side. Drivers have already worn all the goodie off the tires, and this is where you find out who the two steering wheel holders are and who the real drivers are. So we're going to check back in here as that's Moore looking at the inside of Carey one more time. Carey using that top shelf on the worn tires to defend quite well. As that's Carey, Moore, and Brown all throw a blanket over 4th, 5th, and 6th right now. As Twinham is another second and a half up the road, kind of all by his lonesome. As Batby and Hosler still go side by side. Batby going to try to send it through the inside, coming through 3 and 4. Hosler battles back, though, trying to carry the momentum. Batby throws the block. Hosler crosses him over. What's good for the goose is good for the gander as Hosler runs Batby up the track going into 1, opens a little bit of a gap, and wrestles the lead back away from your defending series champion. Amazing side-by-side action going on right now. If you haven't already, let us know who you're pulling for tonight in the live chat. We'll try to highlight your favorite drivers. Here comes Brown on Moore. Brownie on Brownie action is it's the first time I've seen Nate Brown in a Chevy in a couple of seasons. So, and it's not a Bigfoot Chevy. Thanks, Nate. I still remember the season 13 finale is there were 3 Bigfoot trucks on track, and only one of them was on a Ford. Go with that thought, folks. So here comes Brown back to the inside of Carey. Wrestles the 4th spot away. Brown, known for knowing how to save tires, as he's now working the inside of that double deuce TRD Toyota of Carey. Both of them looking to get the season off to a good step. As Brown all sorts of sideways, that's going to kill a ton of momentum. Carey had to check up. That's going to open the door for Jeremy Moore. As we are going to go back to take a look at this pass for the lead, as Batby has taken over the lead of this piece. There's Hosler with a little bit of a wiggle coming out of 2. That's going to let Batby drive back by him, using that top side. Almost into the wall. Drag race coming to the stripe. Batby gets the downhill coming off of 4 and wrestles the lead away as we go back live. Tommy Osborne, the only one to have gone down pit road so far at lap 34. As it's battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th now. Just throw a blanket over those 4 trucks. As here comes Rayburn in 8th, and Toole not that far behind in 9th. Becker and Carey go door to door. It's Becker on the top shelf. Carey on the low side. Becker in the Emo's Pizza Chevy. Never had an Emo's Pizza. There's so many jokes I could make right now, but it would get me fired. If you know what an emo is, folks, let us know in the live chat so I don't have to say the joke. As now Rayburn, Carey, and Toole slugging it out as they try to work their way around. They wounded Fred Garcia. Fred's already been into the wall a couple of times. And not on pace, so definitely not the speed opener Fred was hoping for. As Batby starts to pull a gap now on Hosler. 3/4 of a second as it's a 4-second gap back to 3rd place, Ryan Twinham. Let's take a quick look at our series debutante here tonight. Out of Chi-Town. a quote from, I believe, Rocky 6. It's either Rocky 6 or the first Creed movie, I forget which, but good inspirational quote. As he's now 2 seconds to the good as Batby and Hosler both peel off to go pit side. Twinham's going to stay out. So Ryan Twinham going to inherit the lead as we've got a whole slew of drivers going down pit side. Moore stays out. Rayburn stays out. Toole, Smith, Morrison all stay out as Batby, Hosler, Becker, Brown, Carey, Woodruff, Sykes, LaRoque, and Kozlowski all come down to get their first set of tires swapped out. So Twinham playing the game, getting a lap led as he's now down on the apron, still carrying too much speed, so he's going to stay out another lap as Moore, Rayburn, and Toole come to pit side this time. Smith stays out, Morrison stays out. Batby winning the battle off pit road. There he is. There's Lane Hosler. Almost identical stops for those two. Now Twinham going to try to keep those guys behind him. Can't get to pit road yet as Batby gets his lap back the hard way, making it look just that easy. Morrison stays out, currently sitting plus 12. Chris Smith going to relinquish third as he comes down pit road. See a little bit of right side damage on the Mobil 1 Toyota. There's Batby working away around Blaine Woodruff right now. Woodruff had to stay on a little bit longer. A little bit of damage repair on the 71. As now Twinham comes pit side. Morrison stays out. Morrison going to get points for a lap lead here. There is Batby working on the backside of Fred Garcia. Garcia having engine trouble here tonight. Not up to pace in that Gatorade number 97. Stays out again. Looks like he might be coming pit side this time. Yes, he is. A little bit of sideways action for the Canadian. Used to be doing that because, well, I know the roads up there in Ontario get kind of how they are down here in upstate New York, in the Finger Lakes region anyways. So driving sideways, not an issue. Here comes Batby to flash across and get the lead back. 3 seconds to the good over that man. That is Lane Hosler. Kevin Becker and Jeremy Moore going door to door right now. Twinham there as well. Throw a blanket over third, fourth, fifth. And then you're a second back to Austin Carey, James Rayburn in seventh. Brian Toole, Dan Sykes, Jamie LaRoque. Rounding out your top 10 as Nate Brown had to spend a little extra time on pit road. Looks like he may have gotten popped for speeding with the time he had to spend on there. So here comes Twinham to the inside on Becker. Twinham has shown a lot of speed here tonight. Driving that Goose Island Silverado. Pit stops are now done and dusted. We're going to step away, take a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
Hey, this is Steven Cherrick. I'm the rear tire changer on the number 24 GMS Chevrolet, and you're watching Sim Racing Media. Hey, this is Steven Cherrick. I'm the rear tire changer on the number 24 GMS Chevrolet, and you're watching Sim Racing Media.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back for the season opener for season 14 of the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. Taking a quick look at the weather conditions here in Atlanta. As expected, 79-degree ambient air temperature. Partly cloudy skies, 53% relative humidity, which means these engines are making gobs of horsepower here tonight. But look at that track temperature, 131 degrees. People laugh at me, but that's hot enough to actually bake cookies on the dash of your car. I've done it before. I've lived in the southern regions, and I've done it in Arizona as well. You just take a cookie tin and put the scoops of Toll House cookie mix on the cookie tin and set it up on your dash, and then go to work, and you come back for lunch and you got cookies. Not that I would suggest doing so, because it hurts. So to recap, there's Matt Batby, your race leader, who is 3.5 seconds to the good over that man at the tail end of that little freight train. That's Dwayne Hosler working the inside of the lap car. That's going to be the 2 with Tony Osborne. 8 seconds to the good over this third place driver. That's Ryan Quinham in his debut. Austin Carey sits in 4th, 2 3/4 seconds to the adrift of Twinham, but 1.5 seconds to the good over this battle for 5th and 6th between Kevin Becker and Jeremy Moore. And then you're another second back to Brian Toole in 7th. There he is. 0.5 second to the good over James Rayburn. James Rayburn Jr., that is. That's 8th. 9th is Dan Sykes, 2 seconds back off of him, and another 2 seconds back to Jamie LaRoque. This is one of the strongest runs we've seen out of LaRoque in quite a while. Looks like he's really turned up the wick this season. A little bit of sideways action coming off of 4. That's how hard he's pushing that truck right now. Good on you, sir. A little bit of drift action for the Canadian. Take my word for it. So here comes the 75 of Morrison, trying to rustle 10th away from LaRoque. And LaRoque just lets him go. Notice there's a lot of racing left. We still have 40 to go in this one here tonight. We're going to check back in with this battle for 5th between Becker and Moore. They continue to run it side by side. Your current biggest mover is that man in the 25. That is Kevin Becker. Currently sits plus 11 sitting in 5th. Jeremy Moore started in 6th, wants to not finish there. He wants to climb forward. As makes a move going into 3, side by side in the middle of 3 and 4. Advantage to Becker coming off of 4, though. That outside lane is really where you want to be, and Brian Toole is starting to reel these guys in as he's just gotten by the 31 of James Rayburn Jr. And we haven't seen the money stop yet, as we're expecting one here sometime within the next 15 to 20 laps. Everybody's going to come down for their money stop, get that final set of tires. And this is the reason why we call these guys the CleanRacing.net Truck Series. It's not just because we can, it's because they do. It's not uncommon to see these guys go green to checker. And you can get your hate mail coming now, folks. I think I just jinxed the field. But Becker, Moore, Toole, and Rayburn running stem to stern right now as they're starting to reel in Austin Carey. As Carey may have gone a little harder than he wanted to on this second set of tires, as he's really starting to fall back to these guys. Moore and Becker now go side by side again. That's Moore on the bottom lane, Becker on the top shelf. Coming off of 4, or coming off of 2, side by side, drag race down the back straightaway here at Atlanta. Give the advantage to Becker by half a truck so far. As Moore sends it, evens the thing up. And now they both have to contend with Carey. They're going to have to be careful as Moore tries to use Carey as a pick. Becker having none of it. He doesn't have anything to say about it now. Becker continuing to hold him back as Moore continuing to hold Becker back as Carey knows that Moore is there. And I gotta think, the only thing Jeremy Moore is doing right now is just burning up those right side tires, running as low as he's having to run to make these moves. Carey not one to give it up easy, that's for sure. As he's got the new livery on that truck this season, as Carey got a new livery on the Brownie Racing Silverado here tonight. Dispatches of Carey Now Becker sets his sights on doing the same thing. As those Chevys are ganging up on the Toyotas. As Kerry is your highest running contact coming out before. Carries around.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Wow. Let's watch that one again. As Kerry is kind of a sitting duck here. Brushes the wall on corner entry. Kills a little bit of his momentum. As here comes Becker just sending it. Just slides up into him. Catches him in the quarter panel. And Kerry hits the wall a ton. Wow. Kerry keeps it parked till he knows he's got the clear to get it going again. Gonna go the short way around. Let's see how badly this truck is crabbing, if any. Oh, yeah. No, that truck is definitely crabbing. Let's take a look on board. This is him trying to limp it to the pits. That truck is not driving well, and you can see he's left hand down right now. That truck, I don't think, there's a couple suspension pieces that are probably not attached. Left front tire looks down. Right side, looks like it's connected. Let's take a look at the rear. Oh yeah, no, that's a little bit further inboard than it should be. And that's a whole lot closer to the fender than it was. So he may have bent that rear axle in that TRD number 22 as we're going to go back live here. Expect Kerry to be on pit road for an extended stop as Batby, Hosler, Twinham, Moore, Sykes, Rayburn, Toole, LaRoque, Morrison, all bringing him pit side. Batby winning the battle off pit road. So the gap that he was able to form is gone. And now it's time for good news, bad news. Good news. If you're anybody but Matt Batby, you don't have to worry about Batby jumping you in the pits because the money stops are essentially done and dusted. You can make it home from here, even if we go into a couple of overtimes. Bad news. The lead Matt Batby had is gone. He was 8 seconds to the good. Lane Hosler was about 6 seconds to the good over Ryan Twinham. That is the 01 of Kozlowski in his debut here. Rocking the U.S. Army colors, so good on you, sir. Speaking of U.S. Army, and if you've noticed, we do have a missing driver here tonight. And that, of course, is Season 12 champion Greg Barnett. Had a slip accident at work and completely annihilated his shoulder. So he is out for at least this season, possibly next. But Greg, if you are watching this, get well soon, buddy, because we miss you. So Batby, Hosler, Twinham, Toole, Becker, Morrison, Rayburn Jr., LaRoque, Sykes, Moore, your top 10. Smith, the last truck on the lead lap. There he is coming out of pit road now, as he had just received the free pass prior to everybody going down pit road. As there's the release for the 01 to get back on the lead lap. Now, he's probably going to have to come down pit road. I mean, if he stayed green, he should be able to make it. As he was last down on lap 58. Only sitting a couple of laps down so far, but Batby going to have the button one more time, exactly where they started. Batby and Hosler have run first and second all night long, except during that green flag pit cycle. But they have essentially been the two trucks to beat here tonight. Big shout out to Kevin Becker in the 25, currently your biggest mover at plus 11. There he is on the low side in that Emo's Pizza number 25. He's going to be restarting with your second biggest mover. That's Jeremy Morrison in the Canadian Tire, the number 75. Field working its way through the 3-4 complex. Pace car getting ready to make that hard left turn on the pit road. There it goes, and here we go. Geico restart zone is in effect.
Green flag, green flag.
Close enough. Badby drops the hammer. Hosler follows him through. Twinham going to slide into third for right now, but we know Twinham is hungry to make a mark here in the CleanRacing.net Truck Series, presented by the RingsideReport.net. For all your MMA, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, any of those combat sports, RingsideReport.net is where you need to go. Hosler giving a little bit of pressure to Badby right now as we're working lap 73 of 120. Inside 30 to go. Inside that you can make it from here range. So we could have just witnessed the one and only caution flag that it's going to give everybody a free money stop. As Hosler put the pressure on the inside now, going from 3 and 4. Badby working the top shelf, going to get the run down the hill. Hosler, though, on fresh tires as well, has been very strong here tonight. Hosler going to send it going into 1, wrestles the lead away from Badby. Badby just going to ride and stalk him. Hosler, Badby, Twinham, Toole, and Morrison, your top 5 right now. Highest we've seen Brian Toole and Jeremy Morrison all night, both sitting at +8 and +9 respectively. Kevin Becker currently +8 as well. I always loved that Eagle 1 paint scheme when Mark Martin ran it. Everybody looking to get this season kicked off in a positive direction. As Smith now caught behind the lap truck of Osborne, trying to reel in Jeremy Moore right now, and Osborne staying up and out of the way in that Sparco F-150. Here comes the Ford of Blaine Woodruff as well, as that is for position between those two drivers. They are, though, not both not on the lead lap. Fred Garcia back there as well. It's Moore starting to make some headway as he's now putting the pressure on LaRoque. LaRoque caught on the top side, not where he's comfortable running apparently, as he's just going to let Moore go. Very strong run for Jamie LaRoque, a long-standing member here in the CleanRacing.net series. It's good to see him doing well. His contact coming off a 2. That's with the 14 of Smith. No malice meant there. It just, they banged fenders. And that's racing. Checking back up here in the lead. Throw a blanket over your top 3. And that is Hosler, Badby, and Twinham right there as well. Don't count out Brian Toole as well, as he's got a half-second gap from himself back to Jeremy Morrison in the 75. And there you can see the gap, about 2.5 truck lengths of separation right there. But these top 3 have been your top 3 all night long. Hosler continuing to show the way as we are fast approaching 20 to go. Working lap 79 of 120 here tonight. Hosler, Badby, Twinham, Toole, Morrison, Rayburn Jr. As Toole and Morrison had a little incident there. You got Morrison, Rayburn, Sykes, Moore, Becker, LaRoque, and Smith being scored as the last truck on the lead lap. Jamie LaRoque spent a ton of time on pit road trying to get, Austin Carey spent a ton of time on pit road trying to get that truck back to where it would run reasonable. Currently sits a lap down, but is in the free pass position should something pop off here in the closing lap. Checking back in, Hosler. Showing the way right now is, you know what, let's go on board and take a look. This is what he's seen out the front. This is what he's seen out the back. And after the season that Matt Batke had in season 13, that would be terrifying to watch. Here comes Batke looking to the inside, coming through the dog leg. Hosler going to keep it wound up on the top shelf. Drag race going into turn number 1. Batke just sends it. Here comes Twinham looking to follow him through as he pulls alongside door to door with Hosler down the back straightaway. Drag race for second place. He saw what Batke did. Twinham follows him through in the same fashion a corner later. So Batke, Twinham, Hosler, Jewell up into 4th. Morrison sits in 5th. Those are your two biggest movers right now at +8 and +9 respectively. But throw a blanket over your top 5, folks. Make that top 5 anyways. Top 6 right there as he started to reel these guys back in. Thank you all so much for making this part of your Monday evening. We are back, baby, and we are back with a vengeance. Season 14 kicking off here tonight at Atlanta. And we are going to be with you for the next handful of weeks. As again, we've got tonight's race. Next week, we're going to be at Auto Club. Then on the 19th of December, we go to Richmond for 150 laps. Then we're going to be off for Christmas weekend. Christmas, Boxing Day kind of run hand in hand, especially with a lot of Canadians in this league. So we're going to take that off, and then we're going to be back on the 2nd of January as we return from the house that Penske built up there in picturesque Brooklyn, Michigan, the Michigan International Speedway, for the only other big track we're running this year. No, I take that back. We're doing 80 laps at Auto Club, which is a 2-miler, 80 laps at Michigan, which is a 2-miler, and 80 laps at Daytona on the oval. That won't be till February, though. So, Auto Club Richmond, Michigan, New Hampshire, Dover, Rockingham, Daytona, road course, Daytona Oval in Kansas to round out season number 14. And while I was flapping my gums, Ryan Twinham takes over the lead as I stand corrected. I was thinking 100-lap race, but no, it's 120. And these guys have not come down for their money stop yet. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm talking about, so don't feel bad if you can't follow along with the weirdness in my brain. So 2 Chevys, the Ford of Hosler, 3 Toyotas, 4 more Chevys, the Toyota of Smith, the Ford of Woodruff, the Toyota of Carey, the Ford of Osborne, the Chevy of Garcia, the Chevy of Kozlowski, the only ones still running here tonight. Nate Brown has taken it beyond pit wall. He's actually in the infield care center right now, trying to improve how he is feeling. Let me see if we've got Brown here. We are actually going to reach out to the man driving the Big Red number 5 tonight. Nate, how are you feeling, bud?
Oh, I'm not feeling the greatest, Tony.
Well, that would explain why we're talking to you from the infield care center.
Yeah, I goofed it up. I didn't practice pit road at all, and I missed my pit road entry and put me behind the 8 ball, and then I got tangled up with Dan a little bit. No big deal. It was a racing deal, but I just decided I'd park it. Cheering on Lane and Jeremy and Kevin right now.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but we've got 3 guys in this race tonight that combined have 5 stars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of them's leading. How does that feel being a league admin and letting Ryan Twinham throw hands with Matt Batby here tonight?
You know what? I enjoy seeing Ryan up fighting for the win here. It's good to see him. He hasn't been in the league for a little bit, so it's good to see him come back and run up front. He was probably the reason why I messed up my pit stop, because I was trying so hard to catch him on pit entry. So he's running really good all night.
Well,
look at cheer for him a little bit.
Well, look at the bright side. You got to drop this season.
What's that?
You guys get 1 drop week this season.
No, I don't think we do.
Oh, okay. So that is something new for this season. That you guys gave a drop last season.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on running full time anyways this season. I'm just here for the fun of it right now.
So when are we going to see you rocking the Syracuse Spark colors?
I mean, nobody would understand that scheme except you and I. That's one of the downsides to that.
Yeah, but have you seen what a sparkle muffin is?
I mean, other than my quick search of it,
it's nightmare material.
Okay.
It's a spider from Australia.
I feel like that's a paint scheme more for Evan to make for me. So the way we do it at our team is if we have to replicate something, I'll paint it. If it needs to be painted from scratch and nobody's ever done it before, it's always Evan. So just giving him some props. He's more creative than me. I can't do creative paint schemes.
Fair enough. But, Nate, hopefully you're feeling better next week. There has been a little bit of a bug going around the area. We've said time and time again, and we're not that far away from each other. But, definitely something to be mindful of. Just stay safe, get healthy, and we'll see you next week, my friend.
Yeah, you got a heck of a race to get the call today. I got 6 or 7 guys. Yeah, good one today. So
it's an absolute
it's fun to watch it.
I think the caution was almost necessary.
Yeah, I should just start throwing them just randomly throughout the race.
Well, let's not get carried away.
All right, Tony. I'm going to get back and talk to my guys a bit more, but
all right,
good
luck
talking to you. Yep.
As Matt Batby, your defending series champion, Lane Hosler, who will run 1-2 for the vast majority of this race here tonight, continue to do just that as Ryan Twinham had some problems a couple of laps ago while we were talking to Nate Brown. Unfortunately, Twinham looks like he got a little crossed up coming off of 3 and 4 and had to chase it. Lost a ton of momentum. Is actually battling for 3rd now with Jeremy Morrison. It's Morrison, your biggest mover at plus 11. But definitely throw a blanket over your top 5 right now. You got Batby, Hosler, Morrison, Twinham, and Toole all right there. About a half a second back is James Rayburn, and he's got about 0.6 to the good over Jeremy Moore. And then Moore is a second and a quarter to the clear over Kevin Becker. And then we're pretty strung out going back from there. But this battle up in front has been hot and heavy all night as we are 24 to go here in the CleanRacing.net Season 14 opener here from Atlanta. Again, thank you all so much for making this a part of your Monday evening. If you haven't done so already, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help share these with the YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up a video gets, the more likely these races are to be shared on someone's homepage when they log into their YouTube account. As Hosler works the inside on Batby, coming through 3 and 4. Batby going to cut them off coming off of 4. They're going to slot back in and play the drafting game one more time here. As a couple of good battles going on now, as Rayburn has caught Toole. Jeremy Moore starting to give up a little bit. Now he gains a little coming from 3 and 4. Rayburn's stronger in 3 and 4. Rayburn's stronger in 1 and 2. Moore stronger in 3 and 4. But Toole strong at both ends. It's a good solid run out of the Eagle 1 number 99 here tonight. Batby and Hosler continue to do battle. Hosler a little bit of a wiggle coming off the 4. The question is, who's going to flinch first to get down for the money stop? As Hosler dives it to the low side. Batby was way up near the wall, almost into the marbles. Got to be careful up there because it's so easy to put a tire wrong. And, you know, running in those marbles is like driving on ice. As now Hosler takes the lead back over. Gets a better run through 3 and 4 as Batby struggling right now. Hard to bet against your defending series champion, though, is now Toole working on the back bumper of Twinham. Rayburn right there as well. Rayburn going to get a better run coming off of 2. Going to pull alongside of Toole going into 3. Toole battles back on the low side. Rayburn, though, keeping it wound up on that second shelf. Still door-to-door here for 5th. Batby starting to put some pressure back on Lane Hosler for the lead. 19 laps to go. Last time these guys were down pit road was lap 68. And you got to wonder who's going to flinch to get the money stop done first. Because we saw that 40 laps from the first green flag run, about 43 was about all they were able to get out of that tank and go fast. We're not quite there, but we're almost there. These guys are going to have to stretch it to about 53 laps in order to get it home from where they last came down pit road. Hosler and Batby starting to pull a gap on Jeremy Morrison right now. Quick look at our weather conditions as we currently sit. Track temperatures have dropped a whole 4 degrees. Ambient air temperature still 79 degree, 53% relative humidity, partly cloudy skies, 129 degree track temperature. These tires are begging for mercy at this point. As something tells me we're going to want to watch what's about to happen. There is the 20. It helps if I click on the right truck. There is the 22 of Austin Carey. And he's yet to give a receipt. Batby and Hosler go side by side for the lead. It's Batby on the low side, your defending series champion, Lane Hosler on the top shelf. Batby sideways off of 4. That's going to let Hosler get back by him. 15 laps to go. Did they save enough? Hosler, Batby, Morrison, Twinham, Toole, Rayburn Jr., Moore, Becker, Sykes, Smith, your top 10. Jamie LaRoque in the HendricksCars.com number 15, being scored as the last truck on the lead lap of the 17 trucks that started, 16 still running here tonight. Woodruff, Osborne, Carey, Garcia, and Kozlowski, all multiple laps down. Nate Brown getting recovery in the infield care center after having a stomach bug that's been going around the central New York area, affecting his season opener here tonight. 14 laps to go. It'll be 13 at the line. Hosler doing what he can to try to hang on and hold off the defending series champion, Matt Batby. Hosler always been strong on the 1.5-mile tracks. Batby, though, not too shabby himself. As Batby closes in on the tailgate of Hosler. Batby looking to the inside. Hosler defending well. Batby bump drafting through the dogleg and looking to loosen Hosler up, going into one. Backs off, doesn't want to be that guy. And don't look now, but here comes Austin Carey, who got turned to bring out the one and only caution flag tonight. As he has had a strong truck all evening. Was running top 5 right up until the point where he got turned. Batby and Hosler, though, have been at the front of this field. Qualified first and second, have run first and second most of tonight, as they are fast approaching the lap truck of Jamie LaRoe. Batby going to throw it to the inside. Hosler trying to defend on that top shelf. And that's something we've seen, especially this late in a run as we are coming to 10 to go. Hosler using the top side to defend. Now the question is, where is Jamie LaRoe going to go? Knowing that these guys are going to run door to door, and it would be so easy for one of them to use Jamie as a pick. Jamie gets down and out of the way. Just bails to the apron. Good on you, sir. Jamie, one of the most respectful drivers ever in the iRacing servers. As Batby finally wrestles the lead back away from Hosler. 9 to go. This time by Batby, Hosler, Morrison, Twinham, Toole, Rayburn, Moore, Becker, Sykes, and Smith, your lead lap trucks. Hosler fights back, coming off a 2. Gets in the slipstream, coming down the backstretch. He now has Austin Carey for help. As Hosler goes about a half a lane up from Batby. Batby, I don't know how he's able to do this late in the race, but he's starting to pull a little bit of a gap on Hosler. Hosler battles back through the dogleg. Closes back in going into 1. Hosler seems to be better through 1 and 2. Batby seems to be better through 3 and 4. As Hosler makes a liar out of me as he drifts coming off a 2. 8 laps to go. As Hosler now goes up to the top shelf, looking for some cooler track. Almost gets into the marbles up there. That's going to open the door for Carey to get to him. We're going to check back in here. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. It's Kevin Becker in the 25. Jeremy Moore in the Brownie Racing number 9. And here comes Twinham on Morrison. Chevy on Toyota here for 3rd. Side by side as we are 6 laps to go. Morrison, Twinham, and Toole all right on top of each other. That is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. As Toole brushes the wall coming off of 4, that's going to open the door for Rayburn to get to him. Rayburn with a good head of steam now. Morrison and Twinham still dogging each other as Matt Batby does Matt Batby things. He's already carved out a second to the good over Lane Hosler, who is 3 seconds to the good over this battle for third. Morrison on the low side, Twinham on the top shelf. As Fred Garcia going to be used as a pick? Yes, he is. Hey. Morrison gave as much room as he could. Luckily able to hang on for now, but here comes Twinham on the top shelf. 4 to go. Batby, 2 seconds to the good now and walking away from Lane Hosler. Twinham using the top shelf, wrestles third place away from Jeremy Morrison. Morrison, though, your biggest mover at plus 10. And his biggest mover in the positive direction, anyways. Twinham in his return to the league. Going to have the first podium of the season. As now Morrison and Rayburn going after each other. You got to wonder how much did Morrison use up trying to hold Twinham behind. Rayburn has been by his lonesome most of this race. Now turns the wick up as we are 3 to go. Brushes the wall coming off of 2. Oh, he may have cut a tire down. That opens the door for Toole. There goes Becker by. Popsicle sticks in the air for this man. Defending series champion Matt Batby, 2 3/4 seconds to the good over that Hosler fencing and concrete number 61 of Lane Hosler. These two guys have led the vast majority of laps here tonight. As Batby brings it off of turn number 4. He can see the white flag in the air. 1 more to go. Just has to hold on here as he's already stretched that gap out to 3 seconds. Hosler, 3 1/4 seconds over Twinham. Austin Carey, what could have been, as he sits second truck on track, but being scored in 14th as coming through the dog leg. That is Matt Batby, your defending series champion, taking the race 1 win here in season 14. Austin Carey hand grenades the engine as he crosses the stripe. Lane Hosler crosses for second. Brian Twinham in his return to the league in third. Jeremy Morrison in fourth. Brian Toole, Kevin Becker, James Rayburn, Jeremy Moore, Chris Smith, and Dan Sykes round out your top 10 and lead lap trucks. As we are going to reach out to our defending series champion, picking right up where he left off last season, Matt Batby. Congratulations for your opening defense of your championship.
Yeah, what a crazy race. That caution really put a little bit of a dent into the whole strategy, but yeah, it was a really fun race. Had to battle with Lane. Just a great race. A little bit of fuel strategy, a lot of battling. The tires here wear off so quickly. You got to save that right rear, like your life depended on it. So yeah, great race. Glad to be back in victory lane.
Absolutely, good to see you back in victory lane. But now, you mentioned the tires wearing out so quickly here, especially with triple-digit. Excuse me, I can English. I promise I can. Triple-digit track temperatures. Are you glad that they went with the old Atlanta as opposed to the new Atlanta?
Oh, 100%. This track, this track just rips. It's amazing. I don't like the new Atlanta at all. I don't know why they ruined it, but yeah, this track is amazing. It requires a lot of skill to get around here. So yeah.
Well, next week we go to another track where it's a worn out surface as we go to Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Your thoughts going into one of the 3 big tracks we're going to this season?
Yeah, I like Auto Club. I've had a little bit of success there, not a whole bunch, but yeah, it's a fun track, but definitely not one of my favorites. But yeah, excited to go there. Got to practice, so yeah.
All right. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose to go celebrate your, well, so far so good for your title defense?
Yeah, got to thank my family for watching this. My mom, dad, brother, anybody else that's watching from my family. Just great to get this car back in victory lane, and thank you all for broadcasting and great battle we had there with Lane. So good job to him and Freddie for putting this on.
All right, Matt Batby, we will see you next week at Auto Club. Best of luck to you then.
See you next week.
And joining us now, the driver of the Hosler Fencing and Concrete number 61, Lane Hosler. All things considered, can't be too disappointed, especially with how many laps you led here tonight.
I'm not disappointed at all. I think it was a good effort for the night. I all through practice I kind of knew I wasn't going to be the fastest person. I really just wanted to try to keep up with Matt as best I could, and then see where we could kind of go on the long run. I don't know what he was doing, but he was saving tires way better than anybody else. It was fun though.
That's what we call Matt Batby doing Matt Batby things.
Yes.
But you were doing Lane Hosler things as, you know, this layout here, Charlotte and Texas, those 3 tracks seem to be 3 of your best tracks.
So actually, I think this is the best finish I've ever had at Atlanta in pretty much anything. In previous seasons, I've had some bad luck, but it's nice to finally be kind of up front and battling for the lead.
Well, you know, highest running Ford led a ton of laps here tonight. But next week we go into a completely different animal. It's still going to be a worn out racetrack as we're at the Old Atlanta here tonight. But next week we go to Auto Club. Your thoughts going into round number 2?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
All right, Lane, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
You for broadcasting it, and Fred for putting it on. My parents are watching, I believe. I think I got a text.
Hi,
yes.
Mom.
Yes. Other than that, everybody else for being in here and keeping it a clean race. We had a good run tonight.
All right, Lane. Best of luck to you next week at California.
Thank you.
And in his return to the league, the Chi-Town hustler himself, Ryan Twinham, you picked right up where you left off last time we saw you, my friend.
Yeah, I'd like to think I had a shot at those top 2, but they were sitting just outside the top 5. So when I was running in third most of the night, I was pretty happy with my my performance and my luck tonight.
Well, you led a handful of laps here after the caution. What happened?
Well, that caution kind of come out at a wrong time. I was starting to plan a little strategy on green flag pit stops, or the money stop, as you like to call it. And that caution came out and kind of reset everybody. And I knew something was up when I knew we were on the edge of our fuel window, and I knew something was up when all of a sudden I got by Lane, and then I got by Batby, and I happened to glance at my fuel, and I'm like, oh crap, I got to go in saving mode. So, starting to go into saving mode, I was starting to get a little squirrely, fell back a few spots, and luckily I was able to recover just before the end.
Well, it's safe to assume with a podium finish here tonight that you're going to be back for the entire season.
Oh yeah, I tried being back for last season, and and I missed the first 2 races, and so I figured I'd just take that season off too, and told Fred I'd come back and try to be full time this year. I usually take off in the summertime, like golf on Mondays, but
Fair enough.
I'm usually here during the winter.
Well, Ryan, we go into from one track that likes to have triple-digit track temperatures to another one next week as we go into Auto Club Speedway. What are your thoughts going into the 2-miler there?
Well, the larger the track, the more of a favorite it is for me. I've always liked Auto Club. It's been a while since I raced it, and I was excited to hear you say that we're at Auto Club next week. I'm
80 laps in Fontana.
hoping to have another podium finish next week. That'd be good for return. Yeah, can't wait.
All right, Ryan, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate this podium in your return?
Well, Tony, I'll shout out you. That was the first time I listened to a broadcast of yours, and you did a heck of a job.
Appreciate it.
For always putting this one on. I've had a rocky past with the 75 car, so getting to battle him nice and clean, and we had a good tough battle there at the end when the laps were coming down. Shout out to him for a good, strong battle, and hope for a fun season back racing with these guys.
Well, it's one of those hockey battles that's old as time. Chicago against Toronto, that whole deal there. So,
Hey, exactly.
All right, Ryan, best of luck to you next week in Chicago. So
hey, thanks.
That is going to do it as we take a look at our finishing order here tonight. Matt Batby coming home with a win. Lane Hosler, Ryan Twinham rounding out your podium. Jeremy Morrison hanging on for 4th. Brian Toole in 5th. Kevin Becker in 6th. James Rayburn Jr. in 7th. Jeremy Moore in 8th. Chris Smith in 9th. Dan Sykes. Now I've got him finishing on the lead lap, but apparently he didn't complete the final lap. So Sykes going to come home in 10th. Blaine Woodruff in 11th. Jamie LaRoque, Tommy Osborne, Austin Carey, John Kozlowski, Fred Garcia, Nate Brown. Rounding out your starters, John Anthony did not take the green. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for making this part of your Monday evening. We will catch you tomorrow afternoon as Sim Racing Media presents the Midday Racing League as they fire it off round number 6 at Pocono at noon Eastern Time. So for Mr. Fred Garcia and our good friends over at the Ringside Report, this is Tony Trapaz reminding ladies and gentlemen that until we meet again and as you walk down the road of life, whatever you do, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.